Hello everyone and welcome to episode 131 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel, as it is the Royal Quest Tour. Funny enough, it was almost renamed for this show as far as this tour, because of our major main event that we are having. It was almost renamed Celtic Quest, but because it was only going to be like a one-time thing, because as far as from that regard, even though we ran Wembley Stadium last year, and that's usually a main goal of ours, to run Wembley and run a big-time stadium in England, with us having a pretty major main event in Becky knockout Quinn versus Io Shirai for the women's title, the first ever women's match of the main event, a New Japan show, which is very, very huge for us. We're going to be running a show in Ireland for that, as far as obviously Becky from Ireland, and also we having Devin on the card, so two of some of the very top Irish wrestlers ever, and as far as from that regard, when you think about it. But that I just feel like that would have been a great time to do it. But because it was probably going to be a one-time thing, went away from it. Probably a mistake though, because I think Celtic Quest is a kind of a fun idea to, as far as it to really have it be stamped as something that it's its own kind of thing. But obviously for the Royal Quest show, I guess it still can work out, because we'll probably run the Road 2 shows actually in England, and then we'll be running that final show in Ireland, of course. Hopefully, I haven't even looked. I can't remember what the venues looked like in Ireland, but for, of course, our main event we talked about already for the women's title, but we have for the co-main event for the G1 briefcase as Sonata taking on Tyler Black. We saw Sonata get this matchup from beating Miro, and as far as if he can beat Tyler Black, that would be quite the monkey wrench for everybody involved. I'm sure Tanahashi's waiting with bated breath with that one. As an IWGP Tag Team title matchup, though, before the co-main event, as it's the Astronauts of course, Takuya Nomura and Fuminori Abe taking on Daniel Makabe and Jonathan Gresham. As far as our tag team title matchup, they've been on a pretty good run. Makabe and Gresham, and looking to get another win here over the Astronauts. And for the Astronauts, they're looking to get their first ever tag team title run. Intercontinental title matchup: Shingo Takagi versus Konosuke Takeshita. Shingo won this matchup in the G1, so that's why he's getting this match for the IWGP Intercontinental title. Rematch from the Autumn Attack show, Kenta and Katsuki Nakajima as the challengers this time, taking on Jay White and King Devitt. We'll see how that will play out with no interference involved or anything like that. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight title on the line, as well as Francesco Akira taking on Daichi Hashimoto, which, it's kind of crazy that this is so low on the card, but, this card is pretty stacked, so there is that as well. Part of me was wanting to maybe flip this with the tag team title matchup, the IWGP tag team title matchup, but again, didn't want to run back-to-back tag matches, especially it would have been 3 in a row. I felt like for what we're trying to do, kind of one, singles tag. I like that formula a lot. Keeps people kind of engaged a lot and makes sure that the card feels fresh for each match. But the tag team matchup with Brody Lee and Will Hobbs against Volter and Zack Sabre Jr., that is building up to Power Struggle. Because at Power Struggle, we'll be having a champion versus champion matchup. The U.S. Heavyweight Champion, Will Hobbs, taking on the Never Openweight Champion, Volter, in that matchup. As far as they had a match during the G1, it, of course, was a draw. They want to see who's the best of the best between those two champions, and it should be a fun match, though. So a little build up to that. And the opening contest for the New Japan Strong Openweight title, Claudio Castagnoli taking on Ryu Lee, the champion. Of course, Ryu Lee won the New Japan Strong Openweight title from Jon Moxley. And Ryu Lee's been, as far as only his short little run so far, but I think he's going to be a great champion to kick off with him and Claudio kicking off the show. Should be a good match. Obviously, Claudio, one of the best bases of all time. Being in the ring with somebody like Ryu Lee, probably be a great match. So that will, as far as here in the save, probably won't be as great as it would be probably in real life in the year 2027. But, Ryu Lee, Claudio kicking off the show. We have, as far as 6 title matches on the card. 7 if you count the briefcase, but, Yeah, it's kind of hard to count that. So there's only two Road 2 shows during this tour, so it's a pretty small tour considering. But the backstage incident, Sonata in Kinji Shiga, as far as Sonata passing on psychology tips there, and then Brian also passing on selling tips to Jerome St. Pierre. So as far as, of course, going over to England here, so I just want to look at Ireland. Oh, they got the national team for as far as that stadium. That makes sense. That's probably the biggest one. Oh no, here we go. Croke Park. I thought Croke Park was pretty big. Yeah, 82,000. Oh, it's a non-football. Oh, wow. I see. Wow. Would not have suspected they had a non-football stadium, but I mean, I guess they could have a lot of like music acts play there. I'm assuming is what that would have been for. So all right, so we have that figured out. Oh yeah, we'll probably run the Midlands for this. Yeah, Coventry Sky Dome, that works for me. 3,000 people. Be a sellout. We have a Brody Lee Zack Sabre Jr. singles matchup, which is the first matchup they've had in 6 years. Yeah, because the last one was 2021, so it's been a while for them. Io Shirai and Konami taking on Becky, Knockout Quinn, and BB Crawford as well. Diamond K, Kingdom of Torture, which is a big-ass 8-man tag. As Cody Amado's going to get the win for Diamond K. He's going to beat Taiji Shimori, and also the returning Kosai Fujita, which for the first time, being a part of course, the Diamond K team. Because when he was injured, that was, as far as the last time we saw him, was in 20... Oh, no, he was actually still a part of Diamond K. I was thinking he had just joined, and yeah, it looks like he literally just joined and came back. And, yeah, it looks like that August he came back. That's when he was part of Diamond K. So, been off for a year. Of course, has been injured, so it didn't be back now. It is great to see. Also, United Empire and Blastoff as well on the card. It's a technical masterclass match at the build-up to the Astronauts Makabe Gresham match, as Abe is going to get the win over Josh Alexander, so win for the Blastoff team, which they had a match, actually. This same match happened a couple of years back. Yeah, Road to Wrestle Grand Slams in 81 then. I don't think it's going to be that good this time around, but you never know. The Brody Zack Sabre Jr. matchups, the Steeler Show matchup, the matches that happened, they were both G1 matches, 2020 and 2021, which the Brody one, with Brody winning, was an 80, and the Zack Sabre Jr. Brody Lee one was 69 then. It's kind of crazy to think. I don't know how this match is going to play out, though, now. It's only going to be about 8 minutes. Zack's going to catch him in a submission. Basically, maybe Brody going for the big boot. Zack, sweeps the leg, and the non-big boot leg, the one that's standing, sweeps the leg and locks the submission off of that, like an ankle lock or something like that, along those lines. But the Io Shirai and Konami matchup against Becky Knockout Quinn and BB Crawford, which Konami's going to win over BB Crawford, that is probably going to go around the mid card, if I had to guess. Konosuke Takeshita and Kato Crusher, against LIJ of Shingo Takagi and Bushi, which Kato Crusher is going to beat Bushi. I gotta make sure. Yeah, I'm about to say. So all of the Diamond K are on the card. Should be a good show. Should actually be a pretty good show. And then the actual opening of the show will be Roderick Strong against Jimmy London, which, of course, Roderick Strong will beat the Young Lion in that one. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm a little intrigued by that mid-card matchup to see how it's going to do, because, like Konami and BB Crawford, mainly Konami, because she hasn't really worked anywhere in the, UK here in the save. But probably because we've had her in CMLL, she's probably actually kind of over. Which is funny to say, but it's because it's broadcasted all over the world. But yeah, it's 54, so it should go over pretty well. Pretty well, alrighty. So 57 for the opener. Roger Strong beating Jimmy London with a stronghold in 10:26. Kind of crazy still that Roger Strong, is doing pretty well for himself. Alexander, Makabe, and Gresham losing to the Blastoff team as a figure 4 from Abe over Josh Alexander, which Kind of not a great performance from the Blast-Off team. Somehow still an 81, though, thanks to Makabe and Gresham on that one. 56, oof, for Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, it's because we hit blatantly cheating and we put probably tainted instead of decisive. So that sucks. But it works out, though. I guess we could have Zack cheat, which would be kind of weird. Since obviously he's a England-born performer. You figured we'd want him to have a nice, clean win. It being in the Midlands, but it is what it is. Konami and Io Shirai losing here to, or rather winning, to BB Crawford and Becky Knockout Quinn. I mean, they were the slightly better team. Quinn and BB Crawford were. It's going to be a good match, though, between Io Shirai and Becky Knockout Quinn. I know 75 and 71 on a tour show is not really telling, but I think for the main show, they're going to bring it. In an 81 for the co-main, as Konosuke Takeshita and Kato Crusher beating Bushi and Shingo as a K2K bomb from Kato Crusher in 21-36. Getting the win there, and a 79 for our main event. Yeah, Gosai Vegeta with a 39. He's rusty. We got to get him back into the swing of things. But Kenta Nakajima did really well. Jay White, best guy in the match, though. Actually, Cody Maeda was, but yeah, Jay White, best guy for at least the Kingdom of Torture side. They were the much better team overall because of how bad Gosai Vegeta was. But Maeda, at least being the best guy, gets the win over the worst guy. Over Kingdom of Torture, we'll take it. Surprised this was an 81, though, looking at kind of the card. But this would have been obviously a lot better if it not for a fucked up finish we accidentally hit. But that is the first Row 2 show, as on to the second one and the final one. Alrighty, day 2, as far as backstage incidents, it's Jesse Stanley being brought for versus Court, accused of moaning about stuff all the time, bumming us out, just being a real Debbie Downer. And Shinsuke Nakamura found them guilty and sentenced them shut up or cheer up and buy drinks after the show. As then Satoshi Kojima passes the microphone work to Hayato Tamura. So with our main event here for this day 2 show, obviously this House of Black, Sonata and Tyler Black, it's a co-main event, but it could be a main event anywhere else in the world type of thing, and we definitely want to have that be a big focal point. As Baroni Yamamura getting the win for Designers of Perfection here. He's going to beat Darius Martin. In the co-main will be LIJ and Diamond K, a 6-man matchup, which Kosai Vegeta is going to get the win over SB Kento. That's a pretty big win, especially for somebody that's, well, honestly, since they had already won the first night, I think for this second night, we're going to have actually SB get the win over Kosai Vegeta. And plus, he's still rusty, too, so I think it's for the best there. Hashimoto and Kushida against Francesco Akira and Okuda, which Daichi Hashimoto is going to beat Okuda. Then when the other mid-card matchup is Evil and Black Taurus versus Volter and Lee Moriarty. So a little bit of what we saw from the first night with Zack Sabre Jr. and Brody Lee. This time we're going to see Volter and Lee Moriarty get another win as well over the Dark Order team. But then Hobbs and Corey Jarvis is kind of the other end of that spectrum as well, with Hobbs getting the win, of course. That's the Steel of Show matchup. And then the opening matchup, the Technical Masterclass matchup, which it's a Young Lion match, but we're going to get it 16 minutes. We're going to give it 16 minutes, rather, as Levi Meir and Yoshiki Inamura is going to win for the Monstars U team, beating the Young Lion team of J.S. Hayes and Don Marcotte. As far as for this show, we, of course, we just ran the Midlands, so we can go either Northern England, we can go Southern England. I think we're going to go Northern England. Yeah, we got the Bonus Arena we can run, because Bolton Arena is a little too big. About to say, I thought there was a 5,000-seater. It might not be. It looks like 3,050 here. Yeah, we've ran here before. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's gonna be our kind of best bet. Because I guess we could run Bolton Arena. It'd just be, about 2,000 shy of a sellout. I think it's for the best to just not run there, though. We'll sell out the other arena as a 55 for the opener. Wow, JSA's and Don Marcotte, though, excellent chemistry, so that's great for them. Not great ratings from him, but good performance from Levi Meir, though, getting the win in 15:53. Mountain gave it a boost. They tried to make it work, but yeah, it's a tough match to have. As Will Hobbs with the power slam over Jarvis in 10:27. Nice win for Will Hobbs. An 82 for Evil and Black Taurus against Falter and Lee Moriarty. Yeah, I'm not surprised Moriarty outperformed the other team by himself. He gets the one with the Tiger Driver 18 over Black Taurus. Probably should have had Evil lose, but that's alright. And it's Hashimoto and Kushida getting the win, with Hashimoto pinning Keisuke Okuda with a vertical drop brainbuster in 20 minutes. It's Hashimoto, best guy in the match. Kushida actually wasn't that far off compared to Francesco Akira and Keisuke Okuda, so that's not too bad, especially for Kushida being almost 45 years old. As our co-main event, Los Ingobernables de Japón beating Diamond K with SB Kenta with the SB Shooter over Kosei Fujita, but yeah, glad we made that switch. Kosei Fujita with a 45, plus he was off his game too, so not great. Not great. Glad that they get the win in an 80 for our main event. It's Baroni Yamamura, though, actually the worst guy for the Designs of Perfection team, beating the House of Black team there, as far as beating Darius Martin with the Baroni Bomb, which is just a Swanton Bomb. As far as Baroni Yamamura, though, looking not too bad for a guy that's never worked here or anything like that, so that's actually a relief for him. Tyler Black with that 87, though, on a tour show is pretty crazy, so that's some good stuff there. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. That's going to be on that final show. That's kind of the big thing with having a short tour like this. But now we go to the final show, and we will see how the Royal Quest show plays out. Alrighty, as we are at Aveva Stadium, I believe is Aveva Stadium, as far as I think that's how you pronounce it. Unfortunately, we could not perform at Cork Stadium, as that would have been, or Cork Park, rather. Cork Park would have been great, but we could only draw like 56, 57,000, so we went with this instead. So Riley Lee gets the win over Claudio Castagnoli, as a hell of a matchup, actually, and as far as a good little opener. Riley Lee's run, man, he's been a hell of a little New Japan Strong Openweight champion. Another good performance from him. Claudio Castagnoli falls short in our opening contest. Birdie Lee and Will Hobbs losing to the Volter Zack Sabre Jr. team. Again, a hell of a team Volter and Brody Lee are, or Volter and Zack Sabre Jr. are, rather, Jesus, as Brody Lee and Will Hobbs do have the great chemistry, but it does not matter, as, Volter and Zack Sabre Jr., 92 and 94. Volter gets the win in 9:33 as well, as just a great matchup all the way around. There's an 82 from Francesco Akira and Daichi Hashimoto, as Hashimoto makes his second defense. It's actually a decent little matchup. I am glad that we didn't have it higher, with it only being an 82. I thought it would be a little bit better than that, but we'll take it. As far as he gets to win the vertical drop brainbuster, of course, that's his second defense. His junior heavyweight title there for Daichi Hashimoto, as Devitt and Jay White beat Kenta Nakajima in the rematch, as Devitt pins Kenta as well after the Princess Throne, as the Shingata Princess Throne, to be exact. That's him and Jay White's first defense. Kenta did have an 85, actually a good performance from him. Tough break that he loses to the worst guy, rather, on the other team, in Devitt. But Jay White outperformed Nakajima, at least. But they beat him clean. So win for Kingdom of Torture. The Intercontinental Heavyweight title matchup here is the fourth defense. It's a successful defense here. It's Konosuke Takeshita with the German suplex. 22-36 over Shingo Takagi. And he gets his win back as well, beating the man who beat him during the G1. Great performance from Takeshita there. As our IWGP Tag Team title matchup, the fifth defense is a successful one for Daniel Makabe and Jonathan Gresham, as they get the win, with Makabe pinning Takuya Nomura with the arm trap German suplex. Great performance from Makabe and Fuminori Abe, and obviously Jonathan Gresham with a 93. Great performance there. Actually, really good tag team title matchup. It's crazy that that's their fifth defense, though. They have been on a tear. So afterwards, they're making their way up the ramp, turn, to the camera, as far as facing the ring, hold the belt up high. Very, very pleased to have won for the fifth time. But they get attacked from behind, as it's Jon Moxley and Pac attacking Makabe and Gresham. Of course, Pac, 1/3 of the Never Openweight six-man tag team champions, with the Lucha Brothers as part of the Death Triangle. It looks like Task Force Death are eyeing the tag team titles. Of course, they've never competed for the tag team titles or anything like that, but I think Moxley and Pac, what a fun team they are, and that's going to be, if they're eyeing that, of course, that could be a hell of a matchup in the future. As our co-main event, it's a 95, and it's a win for Sonata, as Tyler Black loses thanks to interference from Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura jumps the rail. He's wearing like a hoodie, and just as far as got pants. Nobody's like, what the? Nobody knows what the hell's going on. People thinking, oh, is it somebody for Designer's Perfection? As far as it's basically Tyler Black is, he's got the, he's tuning up for the curb stomp. I guess tuning up. He's just waiting for it. As far as there's a ref bump. He's in the corner buckle, thinking as far as waiting to move towards the ropes for that, bouncing off the ropes for the curb stomp. But as he, as far as not drawing any attention of what's going on, he hears the crowd, cheering. He thinks that, as far as they're excited for him to win this matchup potentially if he hits this curb stomp. But it's Nakamura jumping the rail. To what, they don't know it's Nakamura. Obviously, as far as the big reveal is when he hits the Boomerang. Pops the hood off, and it's, obviously Shinsuke. Gets Sonata up, tells him to go up to the top, hits the rounding, body presses. Nakamura gets the ref up, rolls out of the ring to wake him up, as far as gets him over there for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Sonata, the new briefcase holder, in a shocking development, with Nakamura now helping, not even his own stablemate, helping a Designer Perfection member in Sonata, and he cost Tyler Black the G1 briefcase. Incredible scenes. Incredible stuff there. As for our main event, Becky Knockout Quinn losing to Io Shirai. It's her third defense. A hell of a matchup, though, for both Io and Becky Knockout Quinn. Our first main event ever of a women's title matchup on one of these kind of final major shows. And it was a great match. It was 93. I felt they definitely deserved to be in the main event. Tough break for as far as a Irish-born performer losing in front of 51,000 people. But to be able to main event a show for the first time in front of that many people in Ireland, as far as our first ever show in Ireland too, pretty great. Pretty great. So the post-show press conference, it is as far as with Kingdom of Torture. And it's as far as Nakamura, Jay White, Devitt celebrating, but Nakamura mainly for what is trying to explain what's going on, because that's all the press is talking about. It's like, why did you help for Nakamura? And, of course, we forgot to put him in Kingdom of Torture, at least for the profile picture for the stable, because he is a part of Kingdom of Torture. For Nakamura, it's, again, he's just like, Tanahashi keeps on being over his head. Gave him, a chance to do the right thing, to have Tyler Black. As far as with Sonata, first he had to be suspended. He comes back, he has to fight for a match, even get a chance for the briefcase, and now he gets his briefcase matchup. He knew to stick it to Tanahashi to show him how far out of reach he is, and how this is he is the bringer of chaos. That harken back to him, obviously forming chaos and leading chaos, bringing the chaos to New Japan, and being the chaos ruler, the chaos king, if you will, of Kingdom of Torture. They bring the torture, he brings the chaos type of thing, and really for him, with New Japan showing how they can take it in a matter of instances, as far as in a moment's notice. It doesn't matter who's in there, he can make it happen. Him, Devitt, Jay White, because of course, obviously with him interfering, giving them the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles after beating Kenta and Nakajima. So, you're seeing how Nakamura in Kingdom of Torture, it's almost like they're not abiding to really any rules. It's completely chaotic. It's almost anarchic in a way, where they're not just helping out each other. it can happen to anybody, anywhere. But as far as for Nakamura and Devin and Jay White, as far as I talking to Devin about him being in front of that many people, being back home, and says that he never would have imagined performing in front of 51,000 people here in Ireland, especially part of New Japan when he left to go to train at the dojo. To come back, for him, it's been full circle. As he says that, he gets attacked from behind as it's the Monstars University team. It's Keith Lee, Samoa Joe, and Dijak, but there's also Tyler Black, who puts his hands on Shinsuke Nakamura. So it's a 3-on-2, but also Tyler Black and Nakamura brawling throughout the press arena, the press conference area, and that is that angle. But then we see Tanahashi immediately after security and all that details get straightened away as Tanahashi comes through and says, tonight is a fucking disgrace, disappointed, embarrassed by Shinsuke Nakamura getting involved in such a high-profile matchup for the G1 briefcase. It says, well, Sonata, you got your briefcase, but there's bigger things, there's bigger fish to fry. For Tyler Black getting losing out on that, it's not right for him. It says he won the G1, had a grueling schedule, won in the semifinals, and of course beat Miro in the finals. Says that Miro, of course, has his title matchup with La Sombra since Miro beat La Sombra during the G1, so he gets a title matchup. So he figures, if Tyler Black can beat Shinsuke Nakamura in a rematch, or not in a rematch, since Nakamura wants to get involved, alright, a power struggle, Tyler Black, Shinsuke Nakamura. If Tyler Black wins, he will be added to the Wrestle Kingdom main event. It will be a triple threat match. If that is in fact what happens, if Tyler Black can win. So Sonata, he's got the G1 briefcase now, so he's going into the finals, he's going into the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. The champion will either be Miro or La Sombra, depending on what happens in that matchup. And for Tyler Black, he has a chance to join them if he can in fact beat Nakamura. So we get a bit of a shuffling of the deck for Tanahashi as he's still trying to maintain order and trying to do the right thing. It feels like Tyler Black got screwed out of that briefcase, and he wants his chance to still be a part of that main event of Wrestle Kingdom. There we go. So that will be happening at Power Struggle. Post-show press conference for the Four Horsewomen distraught. Becky knockout Quinn. She devastated. She brought the tears, though, thinking about the moment of main eventing a show like this. Being back home, 51,000 people, again, much like Devitt, but a different tone where on the losing end, and how she thought it was going to be this big night for her to win in the main event, to be the women's champion. And it says that, it's going to probably haunt her for the rest of her days. But she does have one thing, as far as the New Japan Stronghold Boy Tag Team titles, her and Ashley, and says, they had their matchup at Autumn Attack, which was a DQ finish, of course. Says maybe she can get some revenge and beat Io Shirai there to retain those women's titles if, Tanahashi decides to book them in a title matchup in the future. So that's as far as building up to them. But for the Four Horsewomen, they're just really trying to console her, really. And just because that's a tough break to lose out on such a major matchup like that. They wanted to show that emotion there. In our final press conference, it's the Gory Bastards, Pac, Moxley. For them, as far as asking, obviously why they did it, for them, it was, they were eyeing that tag league, and they want to win the tag league, and they want to prove that they're one of the best tag teams in the world. They feel like they have the talent for it, and they've never really given that opportunity because they've been focused on single stuff. And for them, it was just like, well, it was a moment of time and place. For Pac, of course, Royal Quest, when he heard that it was going to be in Ireland, he was bummed that, obviously he had a chance to go back home to England, but for them to change it up and go to Ireland, he was just kind of like, sitting and sulking and thinking about how this could have been a chance to come back to Newcastle, as far as for him, obviously. But for Pac and Moxley, it was just like, well, why not? Why do you have to wait till to tag league? We've been getting wins throughout Strong. We've been beating some of the top tag teams in the world. Why not prove it and beat the champions of Power Struggle? So they have thrown down the gauntlet for Power Struggle for him and for Mox for a bit basically combined for Mock. But John Moxley and Pac, they want to have the tag team title matchup with Makabe and Gresham at Power Struggle. So we'll see that. So Power Struggle is shaping up to be a hell of a show with Miro and Sombra for the heavyweight title. Tyler Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. If Tyler Black can beat him, he'll be a part of that. As far as the G1, as far as getting that G1 briefcase, not even back. It'll be in the matchup outright, and for Sonata, gets a briefcase off of some shenanigans. But he's in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom without even being involved in the G1 or a part of the King of Pro Wrestling tournament. So kind of crazy, but that's what happens when you're, as far as you're able to get your big opportunities. They did beat Miro fair and square. It's kind of crazy Miro has a chance to be in that main event, though, of course, if he can beat La Sombra. So it's been a bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a revolving door between Miro, Sonata, and Tyler Black, but it kind of is, in a way. And also now Sombra being involved, and it's and Nakamura now getting involved. It has been a hectic main event picture for this year going into Wrestle Kingdom for sure, and it's been fun. It's been a different type of build than what we're usually doing, where a lot of it's pretty clear cut. With this year, it's been chaotic to say the least, and I think that's been a great way to really throw fire at Tanahashi now, the new president, with him having to deal with all this turmoil out from under him. It's been hectic, but hopefully he can wrangle in, and he's been trying to, but they seem to be throwing curveballs at him every way he turns. So it's been a fun kind of tug of war, if you will, between the right way and the wrong way, if you will, between Tanahashi and kind of the lion mark and the strong style spirit, and as far as having guys win clean and no interference, stuff like that, with Kingdom of Torture and how they're trying to run amok and do the exact opposite of all that. So it's been a fun little story to tell without these next couple of shows. But definitely want to put over Becky. She was great in their main event. Her and Io, give hugs to them, because that was huge to main event that show. And they did really well. They were the second best match on the card, obviously followed by the Tyler Black Sonata matchup, which that was great too. Great stuff there from the Royal Quest show. What could have been Celtic Quest? Maybe another time. Maybe we'll have next year we'll do a Celtic Quest and a Royal Quest show. That way it's two major shows, and I think that'd be kind of fun. It's an idea for sure. Just a theory, maybe potentially on the horizon to bring it back. That'd be fun. But that will do it, though, for this episode 131 in the books. And, man, Power Struggle's looking to be pretty crazy with all that's been involved. And we'll catch you guys there to see how the main event of Wrestle Kingdom is going to picture out. And, of course, not only that, we have the Super Junior Tag League. So we'll see what Junior Heavyweight Tag Team will challenge the champions in Robbie Eagles and Dante Martin. So that's going to be exciting to see. We'll catch you guys there. Take care, everyone.